So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat box. We may end up answering them, but if we don't, we can go through them at the end. And if there's anything you're not sure about, we can talk to you at the end. So hopefully you can see that. Can I just get a thumbs up if you can see that? Brilliant. So welcome to 2022. Last couple of years, I think, has been challenging for us all, but we are all here and we are all still rocking. And I think that shows the tenacity of business women generally. We managed to get a final face-to-face last year, 300 people at Wembley, at the Hilton. We did have to deliver the 2020 event online, but I still think that we did give a good experience, even though it was online. And we now know we can deliver the awards online should we have to, but there's nothing like delivering these awards face-to-face in a room, celebrating success. So we, as I said earlier, we've been running the awards now for 8 years, so since 2015. And these are all about recognising the talent and business achievements of female entrepreneurs across a wide range of industries from across the UK, but we also have an international category which we launched last year, so that there is a category there for women based outside the UK who can enter our awards. So it makes us truly global. And there's a picture there of all of our silver and gold winners from 2022 at the end of the night, all celebrating their success. Our sponsors, we could not run these awards without them. I would like to introduce a few of them to you, but I just want to skip a little bit because I'm aware that Carol needs to go and she is one of our judges. So I'm going to stop sharing before I introduce some of the sponsors, and we're just going to say a quick hello to Carol Ann Rice, who has joined our judging panel this year, having won previously, I think it was 2017, the best coach category. So Carol, hello.
Hello, morning everybody, lovely to be here, an absolute privilege and joy, and so many talented women in the room, in the Zoom room.
So just share a little bit about your background. And I mean, I obviously contacted you because I wanted you to be on our judging panel for a number of reasons, but just share a little bit about your background with everybody.
Okay, 30 years a journalist. I've written for The Sun, The Mirror, Daily Express, Cosmo, She, all the big magazines. But 20 years ago, I changed my life and retrained to become a life coach. In those 20 years, one of the first in the UK, people thought I was an interior designer or a personal trainer. They had no idea what a life coach was then. And over the 20 years, I built up quite a reputation for coaching the great and the good. 10 years ago, I started the Pure Coaching Academy because I was really sick of coaches not making it out there, spending fortunes on their coach training and then having to get a day job again. So the Pure Coaching Academy stands for Coaching Excellence. I train people to become world-class life coaches. It's an accredited life coach training school, and now we're doing it online thanks to the pandemic. It's been the best 2 years in business ever because I used to hold it in a classroom, and I'm getting people from Abu Dhabi, Germany, Paris, Cornwall, Scotland, who wouldn't have been able to have joined us when it was in a class. It's going from strength to strength, and my big challenge this year is to try and franchise it.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to our panel. I'm sure you're very excited to read all the entries this year. And thank you for popping your head in this morning, because I know you're a really busy lady. I also know you have immense attention to detail, and that's one of the things that we need from our judges. So thank you, Carol.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
So back to my PowerPoint, and I want to introduce some of our judges, some of our sponsors that are here today. They're not all here because everyone's so busy at the moment catching up with everything, but we do have Diane Watson's here. Where are you, Diane? There you are. So Diane is sponsoring the Best Businesswoman. I'm so sorry, I've got this awful cold. Best Businesswoman in Legal Services, and she came on board last year. Diane, do you want to say hello? Second year as a sponsor, she can prosper.
So good morning to you all, whether you're here as judges or people who might be thinking about applying for the awards. So Debbie's right, last year was my first year, and I've been running my own business since 1994. Really passionate about women fulfilling their potential in every which way. And I was really blown away as a sponsor by just the energy in the room. I've never been to an event with so many women entrepreneurs, and we know that females are the fastest growing sector for entrepreneurship. And it was just lovely. Everyone was supporting everyone else and applauding them. So I'm delighted to be a sponsor again this year.
Thank you, and welcome to you, also on our judging panel this year. And a quick hello to Roma, who is is the head judge, has been involved in the awards since it was conceived. Hello, Roma, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Debbie, and hello, everyone. Yes, my name's Roma.
Just share a bit about what you do, Roma.
Sorry. I should know by now, shouldn't I? So I started life in the corporate world and in the city, and ended up kind of thrown, as you are, doing lots of things. Ultimately ended up doing mergers and acquisitions within a big blue chip company, and then decided I wanted to do my own thing. So I left the city, formerly working for a corporate, in 2000, started up my own tech startup, and after 2 years sold my half of the business on to my business partner, who's a techie. I'm technology useless. I can manage Zoom and that's about it. And then since then I've been working with small business owners to help their businesses grow faster, or companies that are looking to launch themselves onto the next level, onto the stock market, looking at being acquired. I work with people like Grant Thornton. They bring me in to look at the strategy of these organizations, and female entrepreneurs are very much in my heart too, as a woman entrepreneur. And yes, I've been with Debbie for some time now. I also lecture part-time at the University of Hertfordshire on their MBA program. And yeah, consultancy, focusing more lately on helping businesses through the pandemic.
Brilliant. Thank you, Roma. And Roma always has the deciding vote if we get two people in a category that have the same points and things like that, or she'll relook at the entries for us. So she's a very valued judge. We've also got Sophie here, Sophie Morn from Cleveland Scott York. They've also been involved in the awards for the past 7 years. Hello, Sophie. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you, Debbie. Yes, hi, I'm Sophie from Cleveland Scott York, and we are a firm of patent and trademark attorneys in Hertfordshire and London, and also based in Reading. And yes, as Debbie said, we've been supporting the awards for, I didn't realise it's 7 years, and we are sponsoring the best customer services category, as we think it's just so important. Customer services in any sort of business is such an important aspect. We've really enjoyed being part of the awards. Such a great thing to be championing women in business.
Thank you, and we really value your input. And if you ever need any help with intellectual property, go and talk to Sophie and her team. They're amazing. New sponsors for this year is the wonderful Christina Valentine, and Christina is sponsoring the Women in Trades and Construction category. Welcome, Christina.
Hello everybody. Hello, good to be here. So yeah, very, very exciting. So I've been a tradeswoman for over 33 years, and I've been in the competition last year, I think it was, or it might have been the year before, I've forgotten because of everything that was going on. 2 years ago. So I've been a finalist twice in 2 categories, but I'm really excited that this year there's going to be the category for tradeswomen and construction, which is absolutely brilliant because I know so many women in that industry. And what's really great, I'm no longer on the tools, and I really want to help other women in my industry get the visibility that they need, being a woman in a male-dominated industry. But what's brilliant, we are Valentine King, Christina Valentine and Lisa King. Oh, yeah. And what we do together is help people, but women especially, be recognised for who they are and what they do. So yeah, we are so excited about being involved this year.
We are so excited to have you on our team, and you've come onto the judging panel as well. So thank you, Lisa and Christina. That's amazing. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to come to Colette now, who's here on behalf of Cariad Marketing, also involved with the awards since the beginning 8 years ago. Welcome, Colette.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming along. Just tell us quickly about what Carrier get up to.
Yeah, so we're digital marketing, so all aspects of getting people to the top of Google, and also social media and website design, so all aspects of marketing. So I represent Carrier as a whole, but many of you know Justine Perry, who heads up the company. Exciting news today, we turn a teenager today. So Carrier turned 13, so that's quite a milestone. So hopefully the whole staff don't become grumpy overnight and start stomping around the house. But yeah, very proud of the achievements, very proud to be part of it, and also very proud to be part of this this whole process, because having attended the awards late last year in real life, which is brilliant, which was much a novelty, the vibe in the room and everyone was championing each other. It was just amazing. It was so nice to kind of have that vibe and have a real glitzy event, and for women to celebrate women. Actually, there's a few men scattered around there as well. I'm not sure how they snuck in, but but yeah, it was brilliant. All really, really good. So really pleased to be here.
Thank you, Colette. And we're going to talk to Denise a bit later when we come to talk about evidence, because she's here as well. She sponsors a new business category with Purple Marketing. I'm hoping I haven't left anybody out. I'm looking through to make sure everybody that I've there we go. And we're going to be talking to Kate Ball later on, who is the winner of the most inspiring businesswoman category. And we've got Andrea Richards here as well, so we'll get her to say a few words later, because she was the winner of our best boss category last year. Right, okie doke, let's carry on. Where were we? So these are all our sponsors for 2022, of which, as I said earlier, I'm really grateful for their support. So what are the ingredients for entry? Well, you need a passion for your business. So if you don't have passion for your business, click off the Zoom call now. You need focus and clear direction, and you need to be making a profit, except if you're a new business. But of course, the last 2 years have been horrendous for most of us. So the judges will be taking into account that 2020 and 2021 may not be showing the profit that you would normally, and they will take into account those challenging times. You also need great testimonials about you and your business. So if you've got those ingredients, then you can definitely enter the awards. So the benefits of entering, it gives you the opportunity to review your business. I always think that is one of the most valuable exercises that you will gain from this. So you'll be able to do a 360-degree look at your business from all aspects. And there's nothing more valuable than that. So also, awards bring new business opportunities your way without a doubt, because it really validates you as an expert in your industry. It's a true recognition of everything you've achieved, and it really gives you that satisfying factor that you are being externally validated for what you've done with your business. It gives you the competitive edge. So there is so much research out there that shows that people will be more likely to gravitate towards a business that's won awards than one that hasn't. PR opportunities, they literally, there's so many opportunities out there if you win awards. It really does put you on the radar of journalists and, you know, obviously TV researchers as well. Great to be able to share this with your customers and you know, it's a real celebration of them working with you and what you've achieved. Some of our winners I know have done little gatherings and parties after winning an award to celebrate with their clients. And the networking opportunities on the night, you know, over the years we've seen lots of people work together as a result of the awards, which is also something for us which is really satisfying to see. So how to enter? We have 20 categories this year. You can enter as many as you like, as long as you're eligible for that category. Entry is online. It's an online form that you need to fill in. It's £25 plus VAT per category. We put a small entry fee in a few years ago because what we were finding was we were getting a lot of low quality entries coming through. So we trialed it as an experiment to see if people actually paid for it, would they make more effort? And it was very true, they did. So we'd rather have a lower number of entries, but better quality than be sifting through, you know, one year we had nearly 1,000 entries, which a lot of them people just hadn't filled in the form properly and submitted the right information. The charity champion category is free to enter, because I personally feel that I don't want charities to have to pay to enter. And also charities get to attend the final for free. They get one ticket to come free of charge. So we do what we can to support charities and profile those charities. And the winner of our charity champion, we then fundraise for them the following year. So, for example, I think we raised about £6,000 last year for the Santa Maria Foundation. And our charity for this year is the Be Kind movement. So it's a great way to showcase your charity or CIC. Best Boss is also exempt from an entry fee because you can't nominate yourself, your team have to do it. And therefore, again, we just make it really easy for people to nominate the Best Boss, because we really wanted to showcase the best female leaders that are out there and great people to work for. And it's such a great accolade to have. I'll stop sharing in a minute. We'll hear from Andrea, her thoughts on that. Carefully read and answer the questions. We'll talk a bit more about the questions in a minute, and make sure you submit some evidence. And we're going to go into evidence in more detail. But as we've got our Best Boss here, let's stop sharing for a sec. Best Boss, Andrea, where are you?
Hey.
All these people on my screen. Hello.
How you doing?
So how did you feel to be nominated by your team and win that award?
Yeah, it was unreal, especially after I read their nominations and that. So once I'd read them, then it really, wow. Yeah, overwhelmed, totally overwhelmed. Yeah, it was
well
great.
done. You truly were outstanding, and the judges were unanimous in their verdict of giving you that award, because you really had some amazing testimonials and nominations. So well done.
Thank you.
Right, and Andrea, what do you do? Just tell everybody what you do.
I'm an accountant, so I run an accountancy practice. I've had my practice for the last 19 years, and yeah, started growing my team from 2011. So for the last 11 years, I've had a team and started building my team. And I just think it's important to invest in your team. And that, so hence why.
Working for an accountant does not need to be boring, because I've read more about what Andrea gets up to. And clearly it's not boring working.
We're definitely not boring. We're definitely not boring. Very different to most accountancy practices, because we're more about growing a business rather than just calculating people's taxes. So. And
can your team do the moves on the dance floor or not? Yes, they can.
You saw them.
They were on that dance floor all night to the final.
We were all over it.
You were
all over it.
Right. Thank you, Andrea. I shall go to sharing my screen again. So these are our 2022 categories. I am not going to sit and go through them all, but it will give you a flavour. We have the 4 generic categories, 4 or 5 generic categories, which is most inspiring businesswoman. We're going to hear from our most inspiring businesswoman in a minute. Best business, best new business, and best customer service, and international businesswoman of the year. Now, these 5 categories are all generic. You can enter those categories no matter what business you've got. But we do say that best business, you have to have been training for at least 4 years to enter that category. And new business applies to any startup from the 1st of January 2019 or later. So it's sort of 3-year mark at just under. So the other categories are all industry specific. So as long as your business or charity fits those categories, then you can enter. And as I said earlier, the only one that's nomination only is Best Boss. But they're all on the website, and I will send you a copy of this presentation afterwards so that you can go through it as well. So the submission process, I would suggest a bit of a brainstorm to start with. Have a look at the categories, think about what it is you're trying to achieve this year. Do you want to be known for good customer service? Or have you got a new business that you want to get out there? Do you want to be known as an industry expert? So really seriously think about what your aims are. And then hopefully you've kept a folder on your PC with lots of achievements and PR and bits and pieces that you've had maybe over the last couple of years. And start gathering that information along with your annual finances, business and marketing plan, and any other key information. And make sure you're regularly asking customers for testimonials. It should be part of your sales process. So when you come to the end of a sale, no matter what it is, if you're selling product or if you're working with clients, you need to send them somewhere to leave you a testimonial. Not only does that help with your Google rankings if you've got lots of Google testimonials, but it will help you get more business generally. And it's really, really strong digital proof for the judges to look at, because yes, you can get emails and other ways of getting testimonials to put them into your award entry. And I know some businesses will have the type of business that maybe people don't want to be leaving online reviews. And we have had that a lot over the years. So there's lots of ways around it, but the more online reviews you can get, the better generally. If someone else is writing your entry for you, there's no harm in doing that at all. If writing is not your strong point, but please, please make sure that you check it before it's sent off, because the number of times year on, we have people ringing us saying, oh, why wasn't I shortlisted? And that person's entered them into the wrong category or hasn't put the right information in. Or people come up to me at the final and say, where did you get this information in the program about my business? I'm like, well, you submitted it with your entry. And they hadn't checked it and they didn't know what had been submitted. I know it sounds really obvious. I say it every year, but make sure. And that their details are included in the form. There is a box for them to fill their own details in, and that your name goes under the entrant box, because we've had a lot of that over the years where, you know, we get men's names on entries and we're like, well, that can't be the entrant, and it turns out that one of the teams filled it in, or an external agency. So 2022 questions, these are the same for all the categories except Best Boss and Charity Champion. I'm not going to go through the, you know, the variations, but those questions are slightly different. But generally what we're asking for is information about the business owner. So tell us about you, share your qualification experience and why you have a passion for your industry. We want to know how the business began, so share what inspired you to start it, what the business does, and if you've got a USP, what is it? Customer service. So we want to know all about how you look after your customers. If you are entering the customer service category, you get an extension on that question to 1,500 words, because we are expecting to see lots of outstanding things that you do to win that award. How have you grown your business? You might not have future plans to grow it any bigger because it may work around your existing life and commitments at the moment. But if you do have plans to grow it, what are your plans? And, you know, discuss how you got it to where it is today. How do you market your business? So that could just be a simple list, to be honest, of the things that you do to get clients. What is your turnover? So your gross and net profit for the last financial year. A statement from your accountant or an online accounting system will do nicely for your evidence. As I said earlier, don't worry too much if you haven't made the money you're expecting to make. There has been a global pandemic and we know that businesses have struggled. So I think it's important to include, you know, maybe you may have had to pivot your business, you may have had to bring in new income streams. So just include as much information as you can. You get plenty of opportunity to put a lot of information into our entries. We also ask for your best achievements. This is not how many children you've had or that your child got into Oxford or whatever. Those are your children's achievements, they're not yours. This is based on business achievements. What have you achieved with your business? What makes you proud? And the final thing is the business bio, which doesn't carry any points for the entry, but it is what we use in the program. So it's 50 words, encapsulating your business. Just read it so it reads like a little advert for your business, really, because that will go in the program along with your name and your website address. And if 300 or 400 people are looking at it, you want it to be the best. So the top entry tips that I would share with you is to work on your entry in a Word document, because I think that it's easier to see mistakes than when you fill it in online. and you can copy and paste it into the form online. Make sure you read and answer the questions. People tend to go off on a tangent and they don't focus. Provide evidence. We could talk about that in a sec. Make sure you check your word count and your grammar. The word count is there for a reason. Means that everyone's on a level playing field. If you're putting 100 words for a 500 word question, you haven't put enough. But if you can say what you need to say in 300 words and you feel it's answered the question, that's also fine. But, you know, often we waffle and we repeat the same thing. So just make sure each question has got a unique set of answers that you haven't repeated yourself, and you'll definitely get it in that word count. Get someone else to read it and check it. Ideally as well, someone who doesn't know you very well, so you can send it to a friend and ask them to send it to a friend, just because it's a sense check, because we often use jargon or we use terminology that maybe the judges wouldn't necessarily understand. So just make sure someone else can read it and that your passion is coming across. So essentially, this encapsulates what the judges want to know. They want to know your story. They want to know the challenges, the triumphs, the figures, the achievements, and your credentials. That's what they want to know. And I think if you get that information, gather it together, you'll have a great entry to submit. So evidence. If you want to win an award, the key is proof. And you need to provide the evidence to show you are the very best in that category. So things like testimonials, case studies, financials, what charity work do you do, what work might you do pro bono. You might go into a local school and do an interview day, for example. You might do some work in the community. You might support a charity and raise money for charity. You might do all three. Customer surveys, very easy to set one of those up. Customer satisfaction survey, you can submit that. Staff surveys, as I said earlier, marketing and business plan, and your online reviews. All of these things mean that the judges can actually see the evidence of what you are saying about you and your business, and you've backed that up. So I'm going to stop sharing and get the author of Winner. I contributed to the book as well. It's a great book. I can't find her. Where are you, Denise? Oh, you're there. Denise O'Leary, welcome from Purple Marketing.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm feeling absolutely terrible.
Cold.
As you can probably tell.
You poor thing.
Denise has just been awarded an MBE. So well done to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled, and I still can't believe it when I hear it out loud either.
Denise, can you just turn up your microphone? Because I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear you very well.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Unmute and mute again and see if that. There we go. Is that any better?
Little bit. I don't know if you could just maybe crank it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing what I can do. I'm moving closer. Let's see if that actually makes any difference.
So
yeah, how is everybody? Lovely to see so many people on the call, and I know a lot of people are tuning in for the recording as well, and probably most people who are on the call will want to replay the recording as well, because there's so many hints and tips during the lecture, if you like, on what we try to give people so they stand the best chance.
Yeah.
And I think one thing certainly I learned from when I was researching my book Winner, and you know, the great help that you had putting in for the forward, is actually sometimes people underplay the wonderful things they've done, and actually if someone else tells you what you've done, it's so much stronger than you saying it yourself, and it reinforces to you what actually you have delivered. So I would say to everybody, yes, please, you know, get your testimonials, get your video evidence, get your quotations, and get those from your clients. And it's so much easier to get them when you've just done something for them rather than it is to follow up afterwards. So it's one of those things that being on it straight at that time is so important. And I'm so honoured to be both a sponsor and a judge, which actually are totally unrelated roles, which is one thing about these awards that is so key. The judges are absolutely resolutely independent, and it is such a hard job judging. I will say to everybody, and Roman, everybody knows who's judging, what the depth of the responses are that we look at, and what everybody goes through in the process of looking at all the responses and filtering them, and then trying to shortlist them, and then reviewing them again to get the top 3 scores. And there's such a process. So I want to reassure everybody that the robustness of what everybody goes through to look at your evidence, we really understand the effort it takes you to put in, and we really take it seriously when we're judging.
You do, and I'm really grateful for all your help. I mean, you actually won the awards a few years ago, and then we got into a discussion,
yes, I won
didn't
the
we?
marketing and PR category in 2018, and I'd entered the year before and was unsuccessful. And I would say to you all, sometimes you don't get it on the first try. You know, it is the case of, it's such a wonderful thing to attend anyway. So please, you know, think about how wonderful the awards are, the networking, the contacts that you build, the sisterhood of everybody supporting one another is truly wonderful. And it's great to have the guys there as well. It's all about everybody cheering for everybody else and moving their businesses forward. That is what's so important. But sometimes you don't nail it the first time. As you said earlier, people have had some really tough years. And we as judges get that. A lot of our businesses have been affected as well. So we want to know, what is it that you've done? If you've had a business that's been hugely impacted, what did you do instead? If you couldn't do what you were normally doing, what did you pivot towards? How did you change your structure and your business and your outlook so that you could keep going? And that is the thing. It's we're all keeping on. We have to keep going. That is what we're doing.
So true. Thank you so much, Denise. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Denise, pop your details of your book in the chat box, because it's such a brilliant book for anyone thinking of entering awards. I'm sure I've got a slide on it somewhere. Hopefully it might be the next one that comes up. So you really need to make sure you help the judges create your entry like a story, make your submission a good read, avoid jargon, inflated claims, because they sniff those inflated claims out, unexplained acronyms, and unedited copy and pasting. Please don't copy and paste your About Us page off your website. They will pick that up a mile away. Just make a bit of an effort. It's an award entry. It's a competition. Lazy entries don't get very far in the awards, I'm afraid. Make sure if you're putting your evidence together that there is a point to that evidence. So, you know, for example, one year we had a dog groomer who entered, but she put a picture of a dog grooming table. And as the judges said to me, one would expect a dog groomer to have a dog grooming table. What was the point of that? She could have done a little gallery of pictures of before and afters of the dogs or something, but there was nothing like that. It was just this picture of a dog grooming table. So really think about the point of the evidence that you're uploading. You can add 4 uploads, 8 megabytes, make sure you label it, what it relates to, and you get 1 additional upload for your finances. So as they say, keep it simple, keep it interesting for them, and make sure that that you want to shine. You want your business to shine. So if you get chosen as a finalist, then you need to maximize this as much as possible through social media. You can maximize it through your email list, add to your logo to your website, write a blog and a press release and get it out there. We've had lots of people who have got finalist status when we announce the finalists and have got PR straight away, way before the final. So if your story is interesting to journalists and is actually newsworthy, you may find you're going to get some publicity way before the final, even before the winners are announced. One of the things you can do as well is go through the list which we publish and congratulate the other finalists. You can message them online, you can connect up with them on social media and reach out to them and congratulate them as well. And follow the other finalists and sponsors and judges on the social media platforms as well. It's a way of growing your network. And all too often people put all the work in, they submit an entry, get selected as a finalist and do nothing with it. So if you do get chosen, make sure you maximize it. And lots of our winners, as I said, over the years have had some great publicity. This is just a snapshot of, you know, BBC, Sky News, Victoria Derbyshire Show, Rip Off Britain, articles in magazines. This article, Abuse Recovery Roadmap, brings Business Award. That was somebody last year who was one of our silver winners who got straight on it and got that publicity within 2 weeks. And it's such a great story, and she got publicity straight away because she acted upon it. You can use a PR company. We've got people that we know we can recommend, or get help from someone who understands PR, even if it's not a PR company. There are plenty of people out there who have an understanding of PR and also teach it and have courses and all sorts of things. Fiona Minette, who was one of our silver winners last year, she has a PR club. Caroline Joinson, there's a few people we know, we can point you in that direction. And many of our gold and silver winners have had some fabulous publicity because awards position you as an expert. And if your story is interesting and has a great angle, they will want to feature you without a doubt. So if you get to the final on the night of the awards, take as many photos as you can, post on social media while you're there, video on your phone, do a live, create a real buzz around your business and maximise all the images. Everyone are awards. So if you are shortlisted as a finalist, you will win either a silver or a gold award. So you know you've won something already. And just really maximise it, because our reach on the night of the awards last year was about 180,000, and in 2019 it was 250,000. So the reach on the night is really what can really capture the interest in your business, and lots of people report that they get so much traction on their posts and get hopefully new business from it. The gold award goes to the winner of the category, and the silver goes to all of the finalists chosen in that category. So you move from being a finalist to a silver winner or a gold winner. And this is the picture of our financial services last year, and Sarah Siddons. There's Denise's book. So How to Win Business Awards. And Denise proudly showing her award off from 2018, and she's now gone on to win Stevie Awards in America and an MBE. So just shows you the trajectory that you can follow. I always think it's a bit of an awards journey, which is lovely. I'm sure she'll pop a link in for her book into the comments. The final is on the 30th of September at the Hilton Wembley. We went to Wembley last year for the first time. We had a great experience with them. They put on a great event for us. So we're back this year. People often ask me, do I get penalised if I don't attend? You know, no, we are not those kinds of awards. However, what I would say is that it falls a bit flat if the finalists and the winners are not there. And also you miss out on the photographs, the opportunity, the celebration. So if you know you can't make that date, save it and do it next year. It's pretty pointless, to be honest with you, because all the professional shots and the video and the celebration, you'll miss all of that. You know, and for us, it's always that sort of deflated moment when you read out the name of a winner and they're not there, or you call up your finalists to receive their silver awards and they're not there. It's a dinner and dance. It's a 3-course dinner with some wine, and we also do an after party, which is all included. And you know, our aim is to provide you with a great celebration of your achievements. If hopefully this won't happen, but if we couldn't do the final face to face, if that horrible virus remains and still causing us issues, we will do it online. And we successfully delivered the awards online. There's a few little snapshots there. Using a platform called Remo, which gave people an interactive experience. People, as you can see, dressed up, and they made an effort, even though they were sitting in their lounge at home. But hopefully that won't happen. We also have an award winners club, which we haven't been able to meet now for 2 years because of the pandemic. But we're hoping to do a lunch this summer, and we invite all our gold winners, past and present, to come together with our sponsors, with our judges, for a nice lunch, normally in London. We normally do a drinks reception for them a couple of weeks, well, it's normally about a month after the awards, but again, we didn't do it because of Omicron rearing its ugly head last year. But fingers crossed we may get back to that at some point. Who knows? Let's hope so. Here are some important dates for your diary. Our closing date is the 8th of June. It will be open today from 4 o'clock, where you'll be able to enter if you want today. But I'm hoping you're not going to enter today, because I need you to go and work on those questions properly. And it's not a 5-minute job. So, you know, take some time. I will send you the presentation. The questions are on our website already, and I'll send all the links out to you after this presentation. Our finalist announcement will be done by the 1st of July. We always give finalists by the 1st of July, maybe slightly before, you never know, might drop into your inbox, but it will be by the 1st of July. And as I said earlier, our final is the 13th of September at Wembley. And these are our social media links, so we'd love you to be part of the conversation. We will be using the hashtag BBWA 2022 and Best Business Women Awards 2022 this year. I also do a weekly podcast called the Business Awards Show, which doesn't just feature winners from the Best Business Women Awards, but from other awards as well, and judges and sponsors and all sorts of people who have been involved in awards one way or another. So it's quite, yeah, I think it's quite a good way of being inspired and listening to what other people have to say about their business journey. And I always think we can really get inspired by other people. Now I'm going to introduce you to Kate, who is pictured here, most inspiring businesswoman of 2022, which I think is quite a coveted award, because I'm going to let you into a secret. It is our biggest category. We get the most entries by a mile, the most inspiring. So I know it's something that people really, really value. So Kate, welcome. Tell everybody a bit about your business.
I've got it with me. It's really heavy.
You also faced the dragons, didn't you, in Dragon's Den?
I did. We had a very busy year last year because we featured on Dragon's Den in June of last year. I founded and run a paediatric first aid training company called Mini First Aid, where we train parents and carers who've just had a baby on what to do if they're in an emergency. And the business has grown, and we now train children, adults in the workplace, work with charities, etc. So it's really busy. And in fact, I entered the awards a couple of years ago and got myself a silver award in the children's category. And it made me even more determined to reapply for a new category. And I went for most inspiring businesswoman. But on the awards night, when you're sitting and you read the bios of the people that you are up against, so to speak, finalists with, it's quite a crowd, you know, to be rubbing shoulders with. You sort of feel like you're among some very mighty females in the room, but it was amazing. And the platform that the Best Businesswoman Awards has put our business on has been incredible, from winning contracts to some of the press and publicity that we've had, some of the events that I now get asked to go and speak at. It just keeps coming. So yeah, it's been a great decision for us to enter the awards, and I would encourage anyone to do it. It's brilliant.
So what challenges over the years have you faced, Kate, and overcome?
So I think, it's the dreaded COVID. I think, you know, for us, we teach in person. So our classes, we have a franchise network, and we teach in person. So suddenly we're faced with the fact that we can't run our classes. So we had to pivot really super quickly to take our business online and keep that sort of warmth of our business, which is very much, don't panic about something happening to your baby. We've got you, we'll teach you what to do. And that's quite hard to do through a screen, because you want to almost give people that reassurance. So we had to work really hard on that. That was our biggest thing. And also a challenge for us, I guess you could argue it's a nice challenge to have, but our business is only 7 years old, and we have 70 franchises now across the UK. So our growth has been really quick, but with that has thrown so many challenges at us. We are now on our 4th version of our website. Everything has to change. We have to keep changing because we grow. So I think the growth challenge, in that everybody aspires to have that growth, but sometimes the challenge that comes with that. And then the other thing for us, obviously, is the huge piece that happened around COVID, and making sure that not only we as a franchisor kept our heads above water, but also our franchisees, who frankly are not just my franchisees, they feel like my family. We have an amazing relationship with our franchisees. They all are predominantly female, they all have young children, and I felt a huge pressure to make sure that their businesses survived as well through the pandemic. So, but we've come out the other side, and we're still smiling. We've all had COVID recently, so we all feel pretty terrible at the moment, but we're surviving.
I mean, I think you just show, because your idea for your business came about from you having a baby, looking for first aid training, and realizing most of the courses you couldn't take your baby with you. And sometimes it's the simplest ideas that could grow into this amazing empire that you're building. It's incredible. And you've done this around having how many children?
Yeah, it says on that, you said on the presentation you're not allowed to put your achievements.
No, but I think we should just mention that. How many children have you had?
Tongue in cheek, I've had 6.
6 children.
Six. I only had 1 when we started Mini First Aid. So in the time that we've been growing Mini First Aid, I've had 2 sets of twins and 2 singletons. So life is busy. I am pretty nuts, I think it's fair to say. We like a challenge. But I guess what it's really done is it's kept us really grounded, because if we've not been able to work with our children, then we feel we can't ask our franchisees to do that. So we have to make it work. Everything from the working hours that we have to the when we take our holiday, how we run our business, hopefully resonates and works with all of our franchisees as well, because we all have a child at some point that we wheel onto a Zoom call, or we have to miss a meeting because somebody's off school. So keeps us real, I think, is probably best to say.
Yeah, and I think the context about the children in the entry, we get people who put, when we talk about business achievements, so talking about running your business around your family is fine. But when people say, my greatest achievement is having 3 children, that isn't a business achievement.
No.
But what you've done is wrapped around the 6 children with running the business. And I think
absolutely
that's where people have got to really focus down on their business achievement, which is what you did so well, which is why you were chosen. And it is such a difficult category, because if you get shortlisted as a finalist in Most Inspiring Businesswoman, you've probably been picked out of around about 100, 150 people. So that's the number of people that enter that category normally. And to win it just puts you head and shoulders at the top.
Thank you. Incredible. I tell you what, this is so heavy this morning. It sits on my desk. I have to polish it. And but my heart, I think I say on the video, my heart was absolutely thumping. I can't tell you the energy in the room. And then when you hear your name and you think, oh my God, I've got to actually walk now, I've got to get to the stage. And I had the lovely ladies from Sister Snog as well giving me my award, who were absolutely lovely, and have gone on to support me through social, commenting on things and sharing our news, which is fantastic.
Oh, that is brilliant. Well, thank you for joining us this morning and taking time out of your very busy schedule to come and talk to us.
No, it's lovely. This is a lovely break.
Oh,
it's really nice.
Thank you. Right, let's screen share the last little bit. So there is Kate beaming and smiling with, as she said, Hella, Wozniak, Kay and Annie Brooks from Sister Snog, who sponsor the Most Inspiring Businesswoman category. And Hella can't be here today, but she sends her love and good luck to everybody. And there's some smiley faces there on the tables, just to show you, give you a flavour of the event. That is the slideshow done. I'm sorry I've whizzed through it a bit, but I have literally got out of bed to do this. I feel absolutely awful today. Oh gosh, you know, when you I haven't got COVID because I did test, not that I could give you COVID through a Zoom screen, but I just feel so ill. Anyway, thank goodness we can do these things on Zoom now. because if I'd had to get up and go to a face-to-face event today, I think I might have struggled a little bit with that. So let me just check I know Denise has been merrily helping me with questions. Podcast is the Business Awards show. If you just search for it on any of the podcast platforms, you'll find it there, and you can listen to Kate's interview because it is brilliant, and lots of interviews with some of our previous winners. Yes, you can enter more than one category. So Lisa's already answered that. Has anybody else got any other questions or comments? Have I left anybody out? If I have, I'm really sorry. I don't think I have. Pop your hand up. Just going through. Anna. Anna Peck, can you take yourself off mute?
Hi, sorry you feel so rubbish. You're doing so well. Just a quick question. My company is run by 2 women.